Boom, boom. There's the countdown. We are, excuse me, live. Welcome, one and all, to a 10-minute training. This week, we're going to do LinkedIn content. You ready? Before we get to see that, please say hello in the chat box, please. Let me know in the comments where you're from. I'd love to know that. If you're in the UK, let me know where else in the UK. And if you're watching somewhere outside of the confines of the UK, let me know what country you're in, please. Now, this training has got some information I'm going to give you now. And then I'm going to start the clock and we'll walk through the key elements to a successful LinkedIn content strategy and how to complete it. And before the 10 minutes is up, you'll have your content simplified. It'll be replicable. You can literally do this rinse and repeat. It'll be easy. You won't have to think about what the subject matter is. It'll be effective because you'll already get engagement going for every single piece you ever do. And so this is going to take all of the risk, all of the fear, all the confusion out, and it's going to inject a little bit of confidence, a little bit of clarity, simplicity, some replicability, and we're going to inject a little bit of performance in there to make sure that you get what you want. So for those of you here today and watching this right now, I'm also at the end of this going to top it off with an invitation to an exclusive masterclass on everything we talk about today. So I'm going to expand on it in more detail, so you too can have LinkedIn content that is easy to produce, certain in its subject, and gets the engagement, which makes you visible to hiring managers, and without you having to, video yourself running down the street naked with your hair on fire. All right, don't try that at home, please. Leave that to the professionals. So if you want something simple and easy and replicable that gets you the engagement and gets you the visibility and gets you the hiring manager's attention, then I don't know, give me an ooh in the chat box or something. All right. But I do want an answer to a question, please. So once you're done commenting about where you're from in the chat box, let me know what's the number one reason stopping you from doing highly engaging content on LinkedIn? Yeah, I want your answer to that question, please. What's the number one reason why you're not doing, or what's stopping you from doing highly engaging content on LinkedIn? Yeah, because for me, while you're doing that, I'll look at the answers in a second. For me, LinkedIn content has got two objectives only. All right, it must be engaging. All right, so that it makes your visibility go up and get you noticed by hiring managers. There's no point in putting content out there that's as dry as cardboard and has got tumbleweed in the comments section. That's not going to help, right? So it's got to be engaging. And the other thing is, it's got to be simple and replicable to do, right? So you don't have to think about it, or run the risk of it falling flat on its face. All right, so we're going to try and make this highly engaging and super simple. All right, if you can do that, if you can do the engaging content easily and powerfully, then you're done. You don't need to do anything else. Just literally rinse and repeat. That's it. That's all you want your LinkedIn content to do for you, is make you visible and make it easy to do. So what do you need in order to achieve that? So let's start the clock. I'm going to do this now. So 10 minutes, anybody? So we're starting the clock. So go. Here are the big elements of a successful LinkedIn content that gets you found by the hiring manager faster and makes your content more engaging than the other job-seeking competition out there that are trying to get noticed by the hiring manager too. And there are 6 of these, all right? So count them down. Number 1, hashtags. Okay. Number 2, the right subject matter. All right? You got to know that what you're writing about is going to be sought after by your audience. Number 3 is a compelling framework to hang that subject matter on. And number 4, it's got to be super easy to write, right? You haven't got to be a wordsmith to do this. It needs to be a doddle, all right? Number 5, you're going to need an early adopter audience to give that engagement a bit of a boost every single time, all right? And you're going to want to have a response accelerator, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that in a second, so that you can get the sort of, towards virality going. You want to get some highly engaging. So, well, that's it. That took less than 10 minutes, didn't it? Oh, okay, you want more. I get it. So first things first is I'm going to share with you my LinkedIn screen, and we're actually going to do something live and fairly quickly. All right. So add to stream. There it is. Boom. That's my LinkedIn profile there. Let's just go back to home. Got a refresh going. So the first things you want to do is you want to do a keyword search. Okay. So you want to go up to search and you want to look at some keywords that are related to what you do. All right. So let's say you're a project manager. So you might look for project management And let's say you're in banking and financial services, and let's put financial services in there. So project management and financial services. So I'm just going to click and see all results, okay? And LinkedIn's going to provide them to me, and I'm going to get all sorts of results. I'm going to get some people results, some posts results, some jobs results, groups, companies, etc. I'm only interested in posts, all right? So I'm going to go and filter by posts, and there they all are. There's a whole bunch of posts here, all about project management and financial services, okay? And what you want to do is re-rank them, sort them by the latest one, all right? So I'm just going to get a little refresh going there. No, LinkedIn's being super slow. Let's just wait for it to go and do its magic. So you want to go to LinkedIn, you want to do some posts, show results. There you go, a little beach ball of doom. There you go, LinkedIn's finally clicked in. Filter by post, reorder by latest, which is what I've just done, and then read them, okay? And what you're doing is you want to look at the hashtags they use and check the follower numbers of those hashtags. So let's go to here. As soon as my beach ball has stopped spinning. Wow, this is slow on LinkedIn's part, isn't it? Always the way, and then you can't do some live training, and then LinkedIn decides to just go on a go slow. There you go. Let's see more. Risk management, prudential risk. Wow, there's just tons of hashtags there. I'm not going to read all of those. Let's have a look. What else we got in here? There's some stuff in here. Oh, project management. So there's a hashtag that might be related to what I do. So I'm going to click on that hashtag, and that will tell me eventually when the beach ball stops spinning how many people follow that hashtag. And there they are, 4.7 million followers. That's a pretty useful hashtag, isn't it? So I might use that. Yeah. So let's just go back to the content, and I'm just going to read them, and I'm going to check for the popular hashtags, the ones that get used over and over again. And the ones that are relevant to my industry that have got big followings. Yeah. So once I've done that, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do a keyword search for those hashtags. So I'm going to can I get a hashtag going here? Oh, it's so slow. You know, I'm going to abandon that for a second because LinkedIn is just failing me, and I'm going to walk you through it in words, and that will be a little bit easier because otherwise, we'll just be here all day. Right, hello. So you want to perform the same keyword search at the top, but this time you use hashtags, right? So you pick out the several hashtags that are relevant to what you do. You pick out the ones that have got big followings, and you search for those hashtags. And then you want to filter by posts, and then filter by latest, yeah? And read those posts, right? And you're going to see 2 or 3 posts there that, that are relevant to you. In the right geography. Excuse me, let's have some water. There we go. Excuse me, had a bit of water. That are going to be relevant to you, that are in the right geography as you, and you'll be able to comment on them, all right? And you want to make that comment conversational. So in other words, you want to encourage a response. Just read your post on blah and blah, thought it was particularly interesting. Have you considered this and this? Or is there any reason why you left out this and this? Or, you know, I fundamentally disagree. I think the other thing, this and this. It doesn't really matter what you say so much as you're starting a conversation so that other people are encouraged to pile in and contribute to your thoughts as well. Yeah, you can agree, you can disagree, you can add, you can ask why other people haven't added. There's all sorts of ways of doing that. But don't just fly by and go, great post, because that doesn't really start a conversation. All right. And at the end of the week, if you do 2 to 3 a day, you'll have got 10 to 15 comments done. Yeah, great. Now I want you to review all of your comments for the week, and I want you to see which ones have taken off. Most of them won't. 85% of your conversations have just withered on the vine. But that 15% of them, a couple of conversations, a couple of your comments will have taken off. People have agreed with you, disagreed with you, started a mini conversation in the comments thread. The subject matter of those comments is the subject matter for your post next week, because you now know there is an audience that's willing to engage on that subject, right? So you can literally use your comments as subject matter reconnaissance for the following week. So if you do your comments this week, some of those will surface a subject that you know you've got a willing audience for, all right? So that's the subject matter sorted. You no longer have to think about what to write. You just let your comments do all that heavy lifting and research for you, all right? the LinkedIn market has chosen for you, which is super handy, isn't it? Now, a compelling framework for a post sounds a bit like this. If you are a insert hiring manager type and you have a insert problem, then this post is for you. Right? So that first line immediately segments the audience and lets them know that what's coming next is highly relevant to them. The key reasons for your problem are a couple of bullet points. My experience of solving these problems, 1 paragraph war story. And the results were purpose and performance, what you achieved and how much you achieved. If you want to experience, opposite of the pain they're feeling from having that problem, and have results that you've done before, purpose, then drop me a DM or whatever contact method you have. I'll be happy to listen and share what I know to help you. And that's it. So you've now got the subject matter and you've got the framework. Yeah. If you then also chose to go over to ChatGPT and explore the problem and the symptoms and the pain and the solution, then you're going to get a lot more of that middle 1 paragraph content written for you. All right. It's an absolute game changer. It's going to spark a load of, oh yeah, no, I don't remember doing that. I've definitely come across that before. And that'll be a little prompt for you to write something in there about why they're experiencing these problems and your experience of solving it. Yeah. So you can do that. And then you want to publish your post, right? So you know you've got it written. Next week, you want to publish that post. You want to put the hashtags on that post. And if you're smart, the people who commented on your comment last week are people that you'll tag in the comments of your post this week. So you'll be the person to comment on your own post, and you'll use the @ symbol and put their name in the comments and just say, at Johnny, this post expands on your comments from last week. Love to have your 2 cents on this one, please. All right. And those people will read it and go, yeah, no, that is a subject I'm interested in. Yes, I did say something about exactly that last week. Yeah, I'm happy to have my 2 cents worth. Thanks very much. And you're going to get engagement on your post from the get-go. All right. And this early engagement turbocharges the distribution. Yeah. You can, for extra brownie points, time your comments for this week's comments. Yeah. Immediately before you publish this week's post. And that way the algorithm knows that you're online and ready to respond, which is a sneaky way of just punching up the algorithm. So when you do your comments next week, post your next week's post immediately after doing that, the comments for that day. Yeah. And that way the algorithm believes you're online and gives it a bit more of a push. Yeah. You want to respond to everyone in the comments, especially the early ones, ideally within an hour of their comment. All right. Let the algorithm know that something's going on. As it encourages the algorithm to distribute your post a bit more, and you'll get more engagement and more distribution, right? And then you can sit back and relax and bask in the glory of your magnificence, yeah? You didn't have to think of the subject because you let the LinkedIn market do that for you. You didn't have to worry about it hitting the bullseye because you got early engagement. You didn't even have to write much of it because you got ChatGPT to do some of that for you. You've got that early adopter audience in place, and the algorithm became your best buddy and not the boss level enemy that you have to defeat. All right, so how are we doing on time? 2 minutes to go. So while we're at it, what was your big takeaway from today's 10-minute training? I'd love to know that. If you want a free masterclass on how to optimize your LinkedIn content to make it more compelling and highly visible to the ideal hiring manager, just comment with LinkedIn Content Masterclass and we will send it to you. All right. So if you put that in the comments, LinkedIn Content Masterclass, put that in the comments, and Alina on my team will get you access to a full-blown masterclass on content. Okay, and that will take you in a lot more detail. And there you go. Alina's just saying the same thing in the comments. There you go. Just comment with LinkedIn Content Crushing Masterclass we're going with today. Oh, check that out. Okay, I don't mind LinkedIn Content Masterclass or LinkedIn Content Crushing Masterclass. Just put something like that in the comments, and we'll get you access to the training completely free of charge. It's on me. All right, I'll help you do that. If you thought today was useful, just do a one-line post on LinkedIn. Just watch the free hashtag 10-minute training with Johnny and add your feedback. Right? Stick down what you like, and what we'll do is we'll reply to your post with a replay link, which will get you some engagement. All right, and it'll also mean that our network, I've got about 21,000 hiring managers in my network. Some of those will have a gander at your post to find out what it was that Johnny commented on last year. 2 people got their ideal job just from that alone, just because the law of large numbers. At my end, I got some of my network, about 10% of my network, to check you out. So if you just do that, just watch the free 10-minute hashtag job seeking training with Johnny Walker and your clients. All right. Adrian's in already. There you go. LinkedIn Content Masterclass. Adrian fancies it. That link is on its way to you, Adrian. You'll get that yourself. And for those of you who want to know a little bit more about how we do this, all right, there's a free group on LinkedIn. You can go and help yourself to that. There is a ton of advice over there. Absolutely reams of stuff going on. And basically, it all has one objective. All of that advice has one objective, and it's to help you get your ideal job faster for more money without you having to do this whole show and tell sales thing. All right, you can actually just get found for your job, and it'll be the right job, and it'll pay you more. So that's the entire purpose of that job seekers group. There's about 1,100 people in that job seekers group over there, getting ahead of you, basically. So if you're not in that group, I'd suggest you go and join it. Next week, there's going to be another 10-minute training. All right, so keep your eyes and ears open for that, and I'll make sure that you get a spot on it. I'm not sure what the next week's 10-minute training is all about. Alina might know, in which case it might appear magically in the comments. However, in the meantime, I would suggest to you is LinkedIn Content Masterclass. Write those 3 words in the comments, please, and we'll make sure you get access to a full-bore masterclass. And do a one-line post on LinkedIn. Right? Oh, next week's 10-minute training is on the CV. Ooh, that's a cool one. High-performance CV. If you come to that masterclass, I've got a template that I can share with you for free. Literally an empty template with all the instructions on how to fill in every different section. So there you go. Next week's 10-minute training is on the CV. That's it, everyone. Look after your sales. That was one fabulous 10-minute training. I love speaking to you all. Take care.